Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio this week by Brian James, Executive Sports. Our good friend Brian Leonard, he is off right now in Florida, checking out some spring training down in the Grapefruit League. And then later this week, he and I will be in Arizona checking out the Cactus League. We'll have more about that when we get back from spring training, and we'll have a lot of updates at Wager Talk in the forums. We'll tell you about our escapades of checking out all the teams and post-game activities as well. All right, Brian, we're going to take a look at a game. This is going to be your free pick. And congratulations to you. Your maiden voyage last week with your free pick. You gave the listeners a winner last Sunday on Tulsa. So let's keep that rolling along. And you're going to go with, you're looking at a game, Central Florida versus East Carolina. Now, not one of the marquee matchups for sure on Thursday, but that's one of the things. You can always find value in any game. And more often than not, the value is going to be found in these the lesser games, because all of the public's not, lining up to bet East Carolina and Central Florida.
I'm sure they're not.
Yeah, what's some of your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is definitely not a big matchup, but as far as any teams going in a tournament, any matchup's big for them. And you got two weak teams here. The one thing about Central Florida is they lost their last 4 games coming down the stretch. They've now had over a week to get that out of the system. They're coming off their worst shooting performance of the season, shooting only 26% from the field. You and I talk a lot of times in football, when teams are playing really bad, they go into their bye week, they have that extra week to straighten things out. Having the 8 days here, I think, is really going to help Central Florida. In particular, they are playing with double revenge. They lost both meetings this year to East Carolina, and in the previous meeting with East Carolina just 3 games ago, East Carolina had their best shooting performance of the season and only won that game by 5. So combination of those two things with Central Florida now having over a week to prepare and get shake some of that rust off, and the fact that it took East Carolina their best shooting performance of the season to win the last meeting, I look for Central Florida to get the revenge here.
Yeah, going into the tournaments, and, we talked about it. It was one of the questions that I threw to you guys at the end of one of the videos last week. When these teams have won 2 games, both of the regular season meetings, how do you feel about teams going for the sweep? And I know that, a lot of people say, hey, you know what, if the team's better, they're just better. But for me, there's 2 instances, and this is the one side of the coin. When it's 2 bad teams, and let's face it, these are 2 teams that, on the bottom scenario of the conference, they didn't do well this year. It's hard, I think, for a team to beat another team 3 times in 1 year when you're not an elite team. Right. And by no means is East Carolina an elite team. So I got to, agree with you, Central Florida. I think they find a way to get the job done here. And, when you do have the 2 meetings that they won, I think you're going to pick up some line value with the game, because the public's going to look. They don't dig deeper and look at everything in the shooting performances or maybe who they were coming off of. They're going to look and say, hey, this team won both meetings. They're only laying 3.5. Let's go ahead and get them. And I think you're actually getting a little bit of an inflated number because they won the first 2. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on this one. This is your free pick. We're going to go ahead and make it official and say take Central Florida on Thursday in the conference tournament action. Take them plus 3.5. Now, we're taping on Tuesday. There are lines out on most of these games. We're seeing 3.5 right now. Could see some movement by Thursday, but we're locking it in at Central Florida plus 3.5 from Brian James at Executive Sports. And guys, head over to Wager Talk. I tell you what, we tell you all the time, all season long, about those weekend all-access packages. I got to tell you, the next 2 weeks, it's a phenomenal deal. Think about it. Thursday through Monday, you're going to have all that college tournament action, afternoon games, night games, $69. Pick your favorite capper. Executive Sports, check him out. He's on a nice little winning streak heading into tonight's action. You can get all of the plays from your favorite capper, and if they have a 5% play during this period, you're going to get it included. And remember, those 5% plays sell for $30 by themselves. That's almost half of the price, and we're going to make it even sweeter. If you use coupon code JAMES10, we're going to do it in honor of our guest expert this week, Brian James. James and the number 10, enter that in at the checkout. You'll get $10 off. You'll be able to get that weekend all access for just $59 using the coupon. Head over to wagertalk.com to check it out. We're going to be back with more tournament action. We're going to get a free play from me. We're going to head to the Big 12 next, West Virginia and Baylor, here on wagertalk.com.